Hello and thank you for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubaku. Today on the program, Nigeria's COVID-19 cases surpassed 50,000 mark with 593 new infections as 7 more WASSCE candidates test positive for the virus in Gombe State. Inspector General of Police says armed banditry in Nigeria has international connection as Director-General of DSS preaches peace among Kebbi communities. And later on the show, finalists emerge in the UEFA Champions League. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, while Mayor Akipelu will join us via Skype. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. A spike in the number of confirmed cases of coronavirus has pushed Nigeria's total infection beyond the 50,000 mark, following the reports of 593 infections by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. The country now has a total of 50,488 and 985 deaths. Plateau State had the highest number of infections with 186, followed by Lagos State with 172. Meanwhile, the rising concern is the issue of growing infections among students writing the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE. 7 students of the Government Girls Secondary School, Doma, in Gombe State tested positive for COVID-19. Babajide, we've crossed that mark since the first case was announced, and we've now done 50,000. Yeah. This 50,000, we've done a little bit above 200,000 tests.
300,000 plus.
200,000 plus tests, and 593 new infection. Now, it's as if COVID-19 is now like a way of life.
Well, it's not what you would want to have as a way of life. But given our very weak system, we know we are almost powerless to defeat it outright. I know that some countries of the world have the capacity to deal decisively with it. We've seen successes recorded in countries like New Zealand, even Germany, significant progress recorded. But in a kind of environment with the very weak health system that we have, it's extremely difficult to defeat this virus. But that is what you would naturally want to see. If some countries are defeating it, we should be able to challenge ourselves that we will defeat this. Look at Italy. Some time ago, we were all worried for Italy and Spain. The number of people dying every day, but you can see that they've turned the corner. So it is possible, but we don't have the health system, the health infrastructure to help us achieve the aim of an outright defeat of the disease. Because if we can keep it thoroughly in check and have a situation like a whole week, no fresh cases reported, that will suggest to you that yes, we're on the way to a total victory, a comprehensive victory over the disease. But we've not had that kind of situation. When the numbers were very low a few weeks back, it was attributed to the Eid al-Kabir holidays. So the truth right now is that we cannot but continue to try our best and encourage the government at all levels, whether they are state government, or federal or local government, to continue to take the steps that will help us bring this number down. I'm worried that we are still getting up to 500, and I've said before that it makes no sense to begin to read all kinds of meanings to the numbers coming from Nigeria because it's not consistent. Today it could be 100 and something for the whole of the country, and then you see 500. So it doesn't allow you to say, oh, we are getting there. This is the point. We are getting there. The case of Gombe, those students, what the governor of that state has done has really impressed me. While some of his colleagues are deceiving themselves that there is no COVID-19 in their states, this governor set aside 120 million and built a molecular laboratory center. So they can now test on their own. You understand? So students coming from high-risk states like Kano, like Kaduna, Lagos, Yobe, all of those states, they are now testing them. So out of like 1,100 students tested, it's inevitable that they will find some.
7.
Yes. You know, so it's a good thing that the governor of Gombe State has done, and I really commend him.
Mayor, we have some people are so concerned about the planned resumption of international air travels. They are saying, is this not too early? I know you travel a lot, so what do you make of this?
I don't think so, because there is no major difference between international travels and local travels. The only difference is the time duration of the flight. So if we can do local flights, I don't see anything wrong with doing international flights, provided we follow existing protocols. And all over the world, everybody is trying to open up now, because as bad as COVID-19 is, you cannot lock down forever. Because you have to look at the economic significance of locking down perpetually. So everybody is opening up, and Nigeria cannot be an exception. So I don't really see any problem with international flight. I think what the stage we are in now, it has become a way of life. I think government has decided that we have to live with it, and we'll just roll with it. Because when you look at our numbers, 50,000 is a significant mark, but when you really look at it, for a country like Nigeria, 50,000 is nothing, and it has to do with testing. We are not testing enough. 200,000 testing is nothing. That is what Germany will do in the States, you know. So it's because we don't have the resources to do enough testing. And then there are some leaders too, there are some states that are living in denial and not investing enough money for testing. That's why we don't have as much as we have. And I think the strain, I may be wrong, but I think the strain of COVID-19 that is in Nigeria is not as deadly as, for example, the one that we see in the US, because if you look at people now, the initial fears of COVID-19 is over, and people are living their lives. It's just that people have to be careful. The virus is still very much around, because we have a community spreading, and it's very dangerous. So we have to follow all the existing protocols and hope that by the time the vaccines become operational, we'll be able to solve the problem of the pandemic.
Yeah, Jide, the state like Osun, they've eased the more restrictions, and then they reopened bars, opened hotels. And Lagos too. Lagos, they are doing it in phases. I think bars are now opened in Lagos, and we're getting our way of life back. And churches are opened, and even on Ogun State, we have churches opened.
Yes, we are doing it gradually, because let's tell ourselves the truth. There's little that government can do to assist companies and even individuals who have been badly hit by this pandemic. Since you cannot bring palliatives, you cannot offer significant support to businesses or corporate concerns that are badly hit, then you can't keep them locked down perpetually. So the government is trying to gradually ease people back into their normal ways of life, but everything has to be done with a high sense of responsibility. My greatest fear about air travel is that it was air travel that brought this from China to all the corners of the world. And when you look at countries where people travel a lot, they are the countries that are the worst hit. You look at the Americans, the most cosmopolitan of the American states, which is New York, is the worst hit. New Yorkers travel a lot. They like to go not just for shopping but for tourism and all that. So this is why air travel is particularly dangerous. A lot of the people who got infected in the UK were people who went to watch Champions League games in some other countries and brought it back. You know, the nature of the aircraft is airtight and all that. So now, in countries, the truth is, most countries have not opened up now. Even you tell yourself, some of the countries that Nigerians would love to travel to, they've not opened up at this time. The South Africans, you know, South Africa has 596,000 cases and already 12,000 deaths. They account for about 60% of the total number from Africa. You can't tell those ones to go and open the airports at this time. They are not even thinking about it yet. So it's a delicate situation. You have to strike a balance between the need to save the economy from collapse and keeping the people alive. After all, people have to be alive for them to get the economy going. This is the thing. I expect that if we are going to allow for international flights to come into our country, the conditions have to be very stringent. That is the way it is done in other countries. But you know the way we are here. Because of corruption and other things, we are not likely to be very, very efficient in ensuring that those protocols are dealt with. We are not, because corruption may get in the way where people are supposed to present certificates to show that they are free of COVID-19. International travelers, we are supposed to provide certificate. I'm sure that some of our own people will take money in lieu of certificate, which is dangerous. So if we had closed our airspace early enough, this wouldn't have been this bad. Go and look at some of the countries that dealt with this situation better. They closed up earlier than we did. Nigerians were being told to stop flights from coming in from China. We refused. China and Italy. We refused. Our leaders refused until things got terrible. So it's difficult for me now to believe that we will be able to efficiently deal with that situation. I have my fears. If they will do it efficiently, I'll be very happy. I'll be happy to see them disappoint me. But given what we have seen, even when we were told that aisle seats, those aisle seats will be removed to allow for physical distancing in the aircraft. Go and enter a Nigerian aircraft on the domestic route now. There is nothing like that. They didn't remove those seats. So we create room for physical distancing in the departure lounge. There's physical distancing. But as soon as we get into the aircraft, we are like sardine. We are choked up like sardine. So this is the thing. What's wrong with us? So if we adopt the same attitude to international travelers, we will just ship this disease back into our country. We'll just ship it back into our country and it will be too bad. The truth is, every country of the world, they are relaxed. They are taking their time to open up because they know that they got the disease through international travel. So they are taking their time. So the question is, someone like the aviation minister even needs to address Nigerians. Let him tell us what measures he has put in place. It's not enough to simply announce that, oh, it's going to be 29. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let Nigerians see the extra measures that you are going to take or that you have taken to ensure that our people will be safe. That's what we want.
I have my first caller. Joseph is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for staying with us.
Ayo Zubako, I greet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
DKO, I salute you, and Oga Mayor.
I greet you.
Great you guys. Great job always. I know they won't mix journalists and out.
Thank you, sir.
Now, my greatest worry is this. I tell you, for let's say the very last week of March, I've actually been working from home. Okay. But interestingly, last week, Monday, I decided to, go back to office. And the most shocking part of it is, those you believe, I said believe, to be educated, learned people are roaming the street with total, zero level concern. No mask. I'm telling you this. No mask. And to the point that I start looking strange. Now, concerning the reopening of international flights, the question is this. We want to reopen. On what ground? We just, look, the fact remains we've not done enough testing. That's true. So the so-called 50,000 mark and all that, personally, I don't buy it. I don't. And we should just stop this copycatting, copy and paste. Maybe this country is reopening, so Nigeria needs to reopen. Why are we like this?
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you for your contribution. So, Mayor, ultimately, should we take it easy or we should go back to the way it used to be?
Yeah, I agree with Babajide that air travel is the main problem, is the main spread of COVID-19. But it's not the plane itself. It is easy to contain. The inside of the plane is safe because before you board, they can use insecticide to work on inside. They could work on the things because of the pressure in the plane. It's easy to kill germs or virus within the plane. The problem are the individuals who move from one point to another. You understand? People now take, for example, if you are in China, you now bring it from China to Nigeria. So it's the human beings that basically that are moving the virus from one country to another. Is the air travel just quicken, make it possible for those people to travel faster from one place to another. So I think what we should concentrate on is for the Minister of Aviation to tell us the protocols for foreign travels. He has not done that. The only thing he has done is to make announcement that this is when they are going to start foreign travel. And for what I heard, is because of a lot of pressure that was on him. You understand? He's supposed to tell us the protocol. Yes, the protocol that people must follow for them to qualify for that foreign travels. Because if you all over the world, a lot of foreign airlines are now operating, but there are protocols. There are protocols that you must follow. There are some countries that do not allow people from certain countries, and some countries that are saying you.
Jide, as we were saying before we round off, this pressure on the minister.
Yeah,
a lot of Nigerians that they need to go and keep their appointments.
I knew when we were being told that they will remove air seats, I knew that the airlines will resist. I knew. Because already many people are reluctant to travel. So even their capacity to make money has been seriously eroded. It's just similar to what happened post 9/11. People were reluctant to travel. The airlines were then going to die. So the government of the US decided to give bailouts, intervention fund to support the airline because people were afraid of traveling and it affected their bottom line. So I knew that this would be resisted. When I saw the first set of pictures of people inside the airplane, I said, oh, this is my country. You create physical distancing protocol in the departure lounges. In any case, the extensive work that they have done is limited to Abuja and Lagos. All those robots that they are talking about. Go to Kano Airport and other, whether you will see those robots.
Also go to airports.
Yes, go to, and they are already saying people should fly from those places. Why are we like this? And then we put people's lives at risk. You fly, students should not go to school, but their parents can go and jam pack an aircraft, sitting so close to one another, 3 of them on a row. Whereas for the same fare, we did not allow schools to open. We have to be consistent. Because some countries are opening up, are we prepared to put in place the kind of measures that those countries are put in place, I do not believe that we will do that. That is it. Let them prove me wrong, but I do not believe that we'll go to that length.
All right, moving on now. The unceasing attacks by bandits in Nigeria's northwest is certainly giving the Inspector General of Police, Momodu Adamo, some sleepless nights. At a town hall meeting on peace and security in Zuru, Kebbi State, the IGP gave us a cue about what could be foiling it. Adamo said the lingering banditry in the country has international connection. The Director-General of the Department for State Services also cautioned warring communities in Kebbi State to embrace peace. Mayor, what we have here is that the IGP is now giving a kind of intelligence that some of these bandits are not from Nigerians. They are not Nigerians, that some of them are Sudanese, Nigerians, and Malians. And we can see what is happening in Mali. The Tuareg region of Mali for some years have been embattled. That is the northern Mali.
Yeah, I agree with the Inspector General of Police. I agree with him. We all know that when you look at Boko Haram in Northeast, it is not the Boko Haram we used to know. ISIS is the one running the major faction in that Boko Haram in that Northeast. And you remember when ISIS was defeated in Syria and Afghanistan, they scattered all over the world, and they invested a lot of money in what they call ISIS West Africa. So they brought in a lot of money, the expertise, a lot of foreign fighters and all that. So that's why they became more ferocious and they had more ammunition. Also in the Northwest, most of the people there are bandits. Most of them are itinerant. I can say like they are itinerant soldiers, especially the Tuaregs from Mali. If you remember, a lot of them fought in Libya during the war to remove Gaddafi and the aftermath of the confusion and warfare that broke up in Libya. So a lot of these Tuareg fighters, when they left and they got to Mali, that was why they started that problem in the northern part of Mali. So a lot of them are like soldiers and bandits who have now turned to, when there was no war for them to fight, they have now turned to bandits and robbers. So I agree that majority of the bandits in the northwest and Boko Haram fighters in the northeast, a lot of them are foreigners. I agree. That does not change the fact that we have to look at way of containing it, because it's a reality we cannot do anything about. Because those people, that is their own way of life. We have to now summon courage to be able to confront them and provide enough security for our people.
When we finished the program yesterday, and you said a lot of the places that you visited earlier, that you could access to all these bandits to take your shot and everything, that you dare not go close to them now. But because of those areas have been populated by these bandits. So this might be giving credence to these mercenaries from outside the country coming, seeing Nigeria as a very poorly guarded country and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, you remember that I went to Jibia local government's Shimfida village in Jibia local government to speak with some bandits who said they had repented. Dangerous place at the time. We had to wait until we got sufficient reinforcement before I could move. In fact, I remember posting on Facebook that I'm in two minds whether to proceed with this journey. And some of my friends were saying if they could do it, they would stop me from traveling. Even when I was going to Sambisa, I didn't have that fear. Something just told me that the area was extremely lawless and that if we were not careful. Sometimes when you have policemen to guide you sometimes, it's just symbolic because they can easily overpower those policemen. Yes, so that Shimfida that I went to, where I conducted those interviews for the two-part documentary, was where they killed about 18 soldiers in one day.
In one day?
Yes, including their commander.
What infantry?
In Katsina there. That same Shimfida that I went to interview women who were victims of kidnapping, that was where they killed Our soldiers. So it's extremely, and I've said before, remember too that when I went to Kankara, I came back and I said a lot of these bandits, based on what the residents told me, are not Nigerian Fulanis. I'm sure you remember very well when they even described them that their hair is usually long. You know that those Fulanis that their hair is usually long. They are not part of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Now someone will not.
They are not part of us. You've seen Boko Haram video that the Chadian soldiers released. We had one of them even had dreadlocks. They were cutting the dreadlocks. Is it a Kanuri man that will have dreadlocks?
Mercenary.
Mercenaries coming to fight on our soil. They are paid fighters. And these bandits, because of the porous nature of our borders and the flagrant abuse of the ECOWAS protocol on free movement of goods and services by our neighbors, we are now so wide open to all comers. There are more than 4,000 illegal routes through which you can enter Nigeria. I've been to border communities, Meyadua, in Katsina. There's no noticeable.
Just cross.
You just cross.
When you're in another country.
No physical boundary. I was watching people go in and out. No, I have videos. So why would the people are free to go into Nigeria and come out? Why won't criminals come in? They've arrested people before in this country, either for fighting with Boko Haram or for being a bandit who could not speak our own language. Yes. I always refer to the battle for Giwa Barracks in Borno State. When those boys were arrested, they could not speak our language. In fact, some of the currencies found on them were not Nigerian currencies. So this is the thing. We are too wide open. Our borders are too porous. There is no way, if we do not do anything about our borders, there is no way we'll be able to defeat crime in our country. Because these people just come in, they believe that, and you dare not treat Nigerians like that. You dare not go into Cameroon the way you like. You dare not go into Benin Republic the way you like. Those gendarmes will get hold of you. You've seen the situation before in Cameroon. You can't walk into Cameroon just the way you like.
No.
But it's a country that is so wide open, people just come in to come and kill our people. And when they kill our people, you are talking about it. Some people don't want you to talk about it. They think the people that you are attacking are their own people. You see the way we reason? The people who are killing Nigerians, a lot of them are not Nigerians. Even the president said that. President Buhari said that when he went to Taraba State to try to resolve the dispute, the dispute between the Fulani and the Mambila people. He said a lot of the people that we think are our people, that Fulanis from Nigeria, they are from Mauritania and other places. But you see, because they look like us, you think they are our brothers. They are not your brothers. They are killers.
Mayor, why is Nigeria the attraction?
Yeah, it has to do with our economy and prosperity. You know that most of these countries that we are talking about, they are not as successful economically as Nigeria. You know, as bad as Nigeria is, we have the largest economy in Africa. And it's so easy to, if you look at Niger, for example, or Chad, or Mali, you understand, things are very difficult there. They've been involved in a lot of wars. Things are difficult. So when you see all these mercenaries, it is easier for them to come to Nigeria and get involved in banditry and armed robbery. You know, it pays them more because they kidnap, they collect money for kidnapping, they rob banks, they rob people, you know. So the attraction is the relative success of an average Nigerian community. That is the attraction to them.
Well, we cannot, the internal security is as if our guys, our security guys are overwhelmed while battling Boko Haram in one breath. These guys are another element. Before, we have the opinion that, okay, Boko Haram is expanding their territory from the northeast down to another. But from this dimension now, we know bandits will just want to make Nigeria, hibernate in Nigeria because they are going to have a field day.
Because they will get away with it. Why are Nigerians leaving Katsina State to go and sleep in Niger Republic. Or are you not aware that it's happening now? Businessmen, once it's 6 o'clock, businessmen doing business in Nigeria, Nigerian businessmen, once it's 6 o'clock, they close for the day and go and sleep inside Niger Republic because of
They can't afford to sleep in Katsina.
Oh, it's risky. It's risky. Google it, you'll see different stories of Nigerian businessmen, rich men, for fear of being kidnapped inside their own country. They are now going into Niger Republic
Every day
to go and sleep. They already have houses there. Because this is where the market is. All they come to do is just to come and transfer their business here. But to sleep here, they are not prepared to sleep here. They will go and sleep inside Niger Republic because they know they are better protected there, you know, and they will not be kidnapped. Their children won't be kidnapped. Look at a commissioner, a former commissioner in Zamfara. Look at what happened. They came, took his children away, killed, I think, the wife or so. In this country, bandits will attack a customs outpost and kidnap customs men. And the president is asking, how is weapons coming in? People can go and kidnap customs men from their outpost. Are those ones the ones who will now stop bandits from coming into the country? When even they too are not free from kidnapping. So this is the thing.
I have Abdullah calling us from Kano. Thank you for joining us, Abdullah.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, go ahead.
Abdullah.
Yes, regarding what the IGP said,
Yes.
what I would like to say is that I want to understand that the main focus should be on the solution, not pointing fingers on whoever or whatever is the cause of the problem.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
No, you get the point.
Yes.
Okay.
What is happening is that people in the north they have more information on what is happening around their area, and those people are the ones that are supposed to be asked that how are these people? These are bandits. These bandits are living around you. How did they get in the first place? It's not the issue of whether they are Americans or they are from anywhere in the country. The issue is, why are they here in the first place? Why are they here?
Yeah, because they can get away with a blue murder here.
Yeah.
They can get away with crime here. That's why they are coming here. You know, and there are other dimensions to the problems that we face. When you look at what's happening in Zuru, that the IGP had to travel to try to make peace there.
Kebbi?
I mean, in Kebbi. Kebbi, Zuru is in Kebbi State. And the DSS too had to go there. It's still similar to what's happening in Zamfara and Katsina. Because the people, the natives, accuse Fulani herdsmen of trampling on their crops and of killing farmers. So they now organize themselves into vigilantes, and they now took the battle to these people. Now the cattle breeders, what's that their name again? Mietiala.
Yes,
they are now saying these guys have killed more than 68 of their people. But the people are saying, no, we are not targeting Mietiala. We are targeting criminals who come and kill people on our farmlands, who come and rape our women. We are not targeting Mietiala. So the IG is saying, okay, what we can do is let this NSAK and the rest of them, the vigilantes, have a kind of command and control system so that they too do not become lawless. Because while it is good to protect your people, sometimes they go overboard in doing it. And that is why the DSS and the IGs went to that place to try and achieve peace. Because if it goes on, if those killings go on, then it will be terrible, because the Fulanis too can go and organize mercenaries, you know, from even outside Nigeria, who will now come and fight them in. Yes, they do that a lot. They will go and bring mercenaries who will come and avenge the killings.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Please stay with us. For joining us, Babajide, angry youth attack Oyo State Police Commissioner, police headquarters over this serial killer, the escape of this guy we spoke about yesterday.
You know, the students under the ages of nuns were very angry about what happened. This is someone who has killed at least 6 persons for rituals, kept in the custody of the police. A policeman who was not on duty went and collected the key to the cell and claimed that he wanted to take this person out so that he can bath. You now took him out to bath. In the process of having his bath, this guy escaped. Nobody will believe that kind of story. Your blood will boil when you hear this kind of thing.
Very ridiculous.
It should not be happening.
Very ridiculous. Somebody has been compromised.
It should not be happening. Even if that guy doesn't bath for a year, who cares?
The killer.
It's a serial killer. We should be happy. We should be lucky that we have him in custody.
He has been locked up somewhere.
And you now said you wanted to help him and you were not on duty.
Very good.
You came, got the key, opened the place, and then the guy escaped. Who knows whether it's some of the big people that he's been killing people for rituals that arranged
the escape
for this to happen. They may even have taken his life. What is a good thing, those students showed their anger, you know. I do not support violence, but it was supposed to be a peaceful protest, but at some point they got angry, and this was what happened. But the police still have a responsibility to go ahead and apprehend this guy, and I'm happy with the steps that the IG has taken. With those IRC guys
it's just a matter of time.
Set loose on him, it's a matter of time they will get him, and he will be brought to justice by God's grace.
We said it, Mayor, we said it on the show, that if the police, if they want to get him, they will get him. It's just a matter of this step that the IG has taken. In some hours' time, we might just hear that this young chap might have been apprehended.
Yes, I agree. Let me start by saying that I'm embarrassed for Nigerian police. The leadership of Nigerian police are trying to do their best, but there are some people, especially in the states, who are so corrupt and they don't care about the image of the Nigerian police. Yes. Because the story that they just want to take the guy to have his bath and all that is just cock and bull story.
Cock and bull story.
Somebody took a decision that they're going to release the guy, and they did. And that somebody can even dream of the thought of releasing somebody who is a serial killer is unbelievable. And I think that, I know that the IRT will get the guy. I mean, you see, because every crime is local. You cannot be a criminal and survive without the support of the criminal gangs that dominate that particular environment. So eventually the guy will be forced to leave the area where he's conversant with, and then will become exposed and they will arrest him. But not only arrest him, they must look at the system where he was released. Everybody that was remotely connected with that release must be punished. So that the message must be sent that this Nigerian police is not going to accommodate rogue policemen who will do anything for money.
And we challenged them yesterday. We told them that we are going to be on this case. That it's something that we want to see, that is not a palatable story.
No, it's
not
very
good for
shameful.
the reputation of Nigerian police.
It's very, very shameful. Very, very shameful that someone who had been in the force for such a long time could do this kind of thing. Now, the police have put him under orderly room trial. He's going to face justice. They always do it for their own people. They always do it. Many other professional groups are reluctant to discipline their men when they misbehave. But you've got to give the police credit. If they catch you extorting money, they will give you the necessary punishment, and you are out of the force. So they don't waste their time. They do it. So I know that this guy would be brought to justice, this inspector. But this boy who is on the loose, everyone should be worried, because anybody could be his victim. And it is cutlass that he used in killing people.
Gruesome.
Yes. So everybody should be worried. And Nigerians should come up, give police information, credible intelligence, not the kind of intelligence that will send them in the wrong direction.
I don't even think the guy is normal.
No, nobody can be normal and be doing that. About 6 persons, including a 5-year-old boy. You just send people to the alley graves like that. and we were lucky to get hold of you, only to let you escape the clutches of the law. No, it can't be right at all. It can't be right. So we hope that the police will get hold of this guy sooner than later. That's what Nigerians want to see.
And finally on the show, the fight to become the king of European football is now narrowed down to two combatants. France, represented by Paris Saint-Germain, and Bayern Munich from Germany. The two teams braced into the final by beating their opponents 3-0, making the final a must-watch. Bayern has won their last 20 games flawlessly, banging in 43 goals, while PSG fought their way to their first final in Lisbon, Portugal, after 25 years of trying. One crown and two teams. So who deserves to be crowned as the king of European football? Very interesting, Mayor. Let me start from you.
Yeah, I believe that Bayern is going to win that cup.
Oh, you started your prediction again, Mayor. Okay, let me allow you.
I think Bayern will win the cup. They deserve to win it. They have a better team. For any team, though Barcelona is not an aging team, but for any team to beat Barcelona 8-2 is unbelievable. And I think, but it's going to be very interesting. Why it's going to be very interesting is because for the first time, PSG is trying to fulfill their potentials. You know, PSG has this. You know, when the investors from Qatar took over PSG, their dream was that they wanted to turn it into an international brand. They want to turn it to an European giant. But they brought in a lot of coaches, and all of them have failed.
Big players.
But this time they have good players. They have a good structure, but they've always faltered where it matters most. But this time they've got into the final, and they have a front three that is as good as anybody in the business. Mbappe, Neymar, you know, it's as good as anybody in the business. And they are going and Barcelona, whoever wins that match, move ahead to win the championship. And another problem with PSG is that as good, as talented as their players are, they have one particular problem. When the stakes are very high, they choke. When the stakes are very high, they choke. This is a team that have defeated somebody funny, and then will lose 5-1. You know, they are somebody that they will lose 6-1. When do you think they have everything? When the stakes are high, they choke. And I think on Sunday, Bayern will swing it.
When you look, the first half, I watched the first half yesterday between Bayern and Lyon. And Lyon did all the playing, they did all the dominated, and I was even saying, is this the invisible Bayern Munich? And just from the rear, they just started, and those one lost concentration, and that was it.
You see, that is one of the qualities of a great side. Even on days that you don't play well, you still manage to grind out a good result. Great sides are like that. You can't be at your best in every game. This is a team that has been scoring and winning matches relentlessly. So they didn't play well at the beginning of that match, and I could say that Lyon were unlucky not to have even scored 2 goals, 2 quick-fire goals before Gnabry began scoring. The truth is, consistency is very important in football. Bayern have got the consistency, they've got history on their side, they have the experience in this kind of pressure cooker atmosphere to defeat PSG, who are getting into this final after so many efforts. So when you look at this Bayern team, they look like a team that can beat anybody. They look like a team that can beat anybody. And when you are in this,
It's always like that
this kind of form,
for Bayern, anytime they get to this stage of the
they are difficult
tournament,
to stop. They are difficult to stop. But you know,
they will just...
they are difficult to stop. But in football, you also need the luck. In 1999, when Manchester United defeated them,
Sir Alex Ferguson,
they did everything possible to win.
Brought in this Ole-Gunnar Solskjaer, time in it and Sheringham.
Yes, and
And
they controlled the game. They
was
scored
Ole.
early. They
Yes.
scored early, and they controlled
I
the game.
remember. This guy was
But-
crying Kufa of Ghana. He was crying.
Yes, he wept like a baby.
I
But
remember.
they equalized against the run of play, and then from a set piece again, Soldier scored the winning goal from a tap-in.
I remember.
So
This same Solskjaer.
they've got to be careful, but they have a lot to play for. When you see someone like Lewandowski has scored 15 Champions League goals already.
I don't understand
That guy has scored more than 50 goals this season.
I don't understand that
He's
guy.
already eyeing Ronaldo's record for most Champions League goals in a campaign. So
In one...
yes, in one campaign. So if he can get 3 goals, he will overtake Ronaldo, but he will be eyeing the possibility of equaling Ronaldo's.
Don't forget, this COVID would have affected him.
Of course, if it was
2
home
legs.
and, yes, it was a home and
Away.
away, basically, he will have overtaken Ronaldo. But despite the fact that he's so well known, he has shown that he's one of the greatest number 9s, you know, that we have seen in recent times, and he's playing very well. Look at the boy that Arsenal let go, Gnabry. Gnabry has scored 23 goals this season. He's doing fantastically well.
fortunate.
And then the Canadian fullback, Alphonso Davies, is like the talk of the town. Everybody is talking about him. His pace, the quality of his football. He's the first Canadian to reach a Champions League final. And he delivers. Every game, Alphonso Davies delivers. So they've got people. They've got match winners. Kimmich is still there. Muller is still there. They've got match winners. And they are very compact. They are very compact. And they don't panic, even when they're under pressure. So you know that this is a very, very good Bayern team. And it is safe to place one's bet on them. But then football can give you a dirty slap sometimes.
To just okay.
Yes.
Mayor, you mentioned Barcelona, and that got me to rewind that Barcelona Bayern Munich 8-1, and the future of this Barcelona, because for a long time we've been talking about, you know, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think the problem with Barcelona is that they have an aging team. You know, that team, you know, the team they have now is the team that was very successful under Pep Guardiola when Guardiola was their coach. But 2 things affected that team. One, most of their key players are now in their 30s. Almost about 7-8 members of their team are in their 30s. And not only that, the 2 main players that were the heart and soul of the team, in terms of Xavi and Iniesta, you know, they've retired from the team. So the team does not have the kind of creativity they used to have. Because before, Barcelona would not even allow you to see the ball. You know, they were the master of possession. You will not be with Xavi and Iniesta. You will not see the ball. And Busquets will just stay in front,
high pressing
at the wall. So we'll be able to move and do wonderful things. But when Xavi and Iniesta left, they use people like Fabregas and all that. They don't really have those people. The young and the new boys that are there do not have the kind of talent of Xavi and Iniesta. And that team is old. They are in their 30s. If they have to rebuild a new team completely, because for the first time in about 15 years, this is the first year that Barcelona will not win a trophy in a season, which is shocking. And a team like Barcelona should not be beaten 8-2. I mean, it's scandalous.
I have to rewind. I have to go back to that
even
match.
when they were very good, this same Bayern beat them 7-7. So Bayern on their good day can disgrace anything. They beat them home and away.
The future of Messi has been questioned right now.
Huh?
The 7 goals based on the 7 goals is the 2
over 2 legs. Yes,
That's right.
yes. But they beat them still even on their home, and that was at the peak of their powers. They had those, Messi and the rest of them were in their 20s, they were young, you know. So the Germans, even their football culture, you've got to respect their football culture, the quality of the training and all that. And when they are on their day, they can beat anybody. They can beat anybody. They don't have flowery players who show so much skills and all that. No. But when it comes to efficiency on the field of play, they are the masters of it. So, and in a game like the final match, you'll be looking at the team that takes its chances.
Teamwork, individual talent.
Take your chances, whether you are dominated or not. You get 3 chances in a game, put those 3 chances together. How did Manchester United lose to Sevilla? Sevilla didn't test the hair. The 2 occasions that they fired at his goal, they scored. Manchester United came into the second half, dominated the game. But they didn't dominate goal scoring. It was Sevilla. So it's the team that takes its chances, because both teams are big teams in Europe. And with PSG having the likes of Di Maria, Mbappe, what's his name again? Neymar. You cannot just write them off. That's a team that has come of age too. But the problem is they are facing a Bayern Munich that is in a very rich vein of form.
Rapid.
This is the wrong time to face Bayern Munich. Their form is tremendous, and everyone expects Bayern Munich to win. They are the favorites.
So it's on record ahead of Sunday's match. Mayor Akinpelu and Babajide Otitoju, they predicted it. So by Monday, we come to check it out. Let's see. And thank you so much, Mayor Akinpelu, for your contribution. Thank you for joining us. And the maestro himself, BKO, thank you for always being there.
I agree too.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can also watch Journalists Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. Well, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.